Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 3 of our business plan writing workshop. Again, if you know anyone who would like to listen in, you can also listen in via YouTube. You go to the City of Saginaw, go to YouTube first of all, and then go to the City of Saginaw's YouTube page, and you will be able to view us live as well as on the broadcast here today. We have again with us Miss Michelle McGregor, who has been doing an awesome job thus far presenting on our business plan. And I'd like to thank everyone who joined today. And we have a couple of new people today, which is good. To all the new comers, if you have the option to use your video camera, we'd like for you to actually see you. So that we can actually coordinate with one another and get some interaction going on here. But again, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is week 3. We have one more week to go. And we're going to be with Miss McGregor, who is just doing a fantastic job. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and give Miss McGregor the host capabilities.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back, and welcome to those of you all who are here for the first time. Glad you all have joined us. If this is your first time, can you please tell us and introduce yourself to us? Tell us a little bit about who you are and your business, and what, or if it's an idea.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Brian Patrick. I am the creator of Eddie's Hot Sauce, named it after my father after losing him 2016 to cancer. I plan to do big things for the city of Saginaw.
Wow. Nice to meet you, Brian.
Nice to meet you.
Sorry to hear the passing of your dad, but what a great honor to actually keep his legacy alive. I think that's great.
Thank you so much.
Is there anyone else that's joining for the first time? No? Okay. Well, so let's start off today. Let's go ahead. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. First, allow me first to apologize, because when we got off last week, I said, oh, I'll send this recap. Okay, you guys, let me tell you what happened. So I got off with you guys, hopped on another meeting, and it was just information overload in my world. So Thursday, I had a meeting, and then guess what I did, you guys? I took 2.5 days of self-care. I didn't think about you guys. So I am so I checked out. I totally checked out. I actually drove to Manistee, and I had a couple of days to just think about me and just relax and just woosah. So when I got back here Sunday, I just tried to pull myself back in, and I totally did not think about it. So I do apologize for not honoring my word to make sure that you all got that recap. So, but we're going to recap right now, because you're going to have an opportunity to tell me where you are right now, because today I got some really exciting things that we're going to do today. And in regards to your business plan, because next week is our last session. Oh, right. I know we don't want to let it in, but I will still be available. I still live in the area. My email's still the same. But hopefully with Keisha and I, we can probably do some more things that we can follow up to help make sure that you get to the finish line. And the finish line is actually your business plan ready to go, because Keisha has money that she has to give away. Right? That's the goal. That is the goal. Okay. So I know that last week we talked about vision statement, mission statement. What are the difference between the two? We also talked about our getting our objectives together, identifying and actually understanding what a SMART goal is. That a SMART goal is specific, it's measurable, it's obtainable, it's realistic, and it has time attached to it. And then we also talked about some strategies. What is going to be unique for you. And then we started hopping on into the money part of it. What type of startup capital do you need? What are some of your anticipated expenses? And how much money do you plan on making in your business? And then when we wrapped everything up, we talked about an action plan. What are the specific items that you want to get done now? What are some of your future milestones that you want to make? How do you plan on making it? How do you plan on measuring that you actually stepped into it? So I am going to pause for a moment, and I'm going to allow each and every one of you all who have some updates to share your updates. How far have you gotten through that process? Where were some of the things that you found were barriers or hiccups or places that you didn't understand? And where are the places that you just soared right through and say, you know what, I got that part. So when I get down to write it, I'm going to be all good. So with that being said, I yield the floor. Who's first? I see Sabrina. Come on in.
I'll just go first and get it over with. Like I said, I don't have a business just yet, but I do have some ideas. But when I started thinking about the vision statement and a mission statement, it made me kind of go back on the idea that I have, so I can be very, I guess, specific with what it is that I want to do with my idea. Because when you said, like, how are you different, or how can you be unique in who you are with the mission statement, I was trying to do that in 20 words, but I didn't know who I wanted to be. So I was kind of stuck there. But I did come up with a few different statements for a vision statement and a mission statement, but that's kind of where I was just playing around with my ideas.
Awesome. That is great, because here's the thought. The thought is that when you first start off with anything, don't worry about the word count. Just let it flow. Because when you start stifling yourself at just the 20 words, you lose the whole innovative and creative process of it. But at your final product should be between those, should be 20, 25 words, but not starting off. So feel free to just open up and let the floodgates go. Let the vision be as long as you want it to be, because you really want to walk through what is the end goal of that vision. And then your mission statement is like, okay, how am I going to make this thing happen, and who am I making it happen for? So please explore it. Don't close any idea, because that one idea that you may close off may be the one that makes you all the money. Okay. Good job. Yay. Who's next? All right, Lisa, you standing there with your smile on. What you got?
As far as a vision statement and a mission statement, I haven't really been able to come up with much yet, because I'm still having a hard time envisioning what it is exactly that we want to do.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been kind of stuck a little bit because I'm not for sure on the exact business. Or
Okay.
so yeah.
Well, here's the thought. If you and Sabrina want to get together and we're just have a conversation, if you have some ideas, or you just don't know what way you want to go, let's have a let's like meet on Zoom or meet on here, and let's just flush it out. Because what I don't want to have happen is that you have an idea and you just don't know what the next steps are.
Okay.
You can flush those out, because I don't want you to get stopped. I want you to
Okay.
still continue to flow, and just let's figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Great. All right, who's next? Anyone? I see Paul reach for a button.
I'll go.
Oh yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, this is Brian Patrick.
Okay, Frank.
I'm just starting trying to put together my business plan, so I'm not there yet like the rest of you guys. But my vision for my business is to be a young Black entrepreneur. Like I said, I do hot sauce, so I want to get a building where I can mass produce it. And the end goal is to give jobs to people in Michigan, preferably Saginaw or wherever, just to generate jobs. and to give back to cancer.
Awesome. So you already have a product?
Yes, I do.
Are you selling the product?
Well, I went through Michigan State Product Department and did all my testing to get my licensing. So with them, they don't want me to actually sell the product until I get it done in a commercial kitchen, and that's where I'm at now. Keisha had turned me on to the SBRC marketplace, so I'm setting up a date to cook it there so I can do it in a commercial kitchen to get my last license. And so when I make the product, I make too much to give them a little sample. So I normally just give it away just to get feedback. And I got pictures and everything on Facebook, and I mean, people love it. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here. You got a product. Okay. Commercial kitchen, that's definitely needed. Ingredient list, definitely needed. Okay. All right. So we can work with that. We can definitely work with that. So you're in the right place.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Paul, what you got?
All right. I'm still trying to kind of polish up my mission statement a little bit more,
Okay.
but I definitely started looking into my long-term goals or my long-term vision a lot better. And my thing is, I want multiple locations, but not only that, I want to be in multiple countries and maybe kind of strategically place it where there's a lot of manufacturing going on, so I can kind of market with them and work something out with those guys. I want to employ thousands of people, and I definitely want to own $1 billion, a $1 billion business or $1 billion industry. So I think I can make that happen.
Awesome. So that is good. So when you say you want to go global, do you know what countries?
I was kind of looking into the medical field. I used to be a CNC machinist for a long time. So there's one specific manufacturer. I know they do a lot of orthopedic surgical parts. And I don't know if they do too much powder coating yet because it's very FDA regulated. But I'd say if I can come up with like a little strategy, I would probably locate them in Florida and then pitch my idea to them and get them to, if I can get some business out of them, then I would just kind of go and kind of find their location. So like they got a couple locations in Germany and I think in Japan.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, I have a few more questions that I would just like to ask. So I'm not going to tie up the class time to do that, but definitely I'm going to jot down this one particular question. And I probably put it in the chat. All right. Anyone else is next? Anyone else that want to share? No? Okay. Well, thank you all so much for sharing. We're going to go ahead and just move forward on with today's agenda, what we have in place. So today, our objective is to actually walk through the actual components of the business plan. Even if you're not ready to go ahead and write it out, this will be a great place if you're fleshing out an idea where you can actually start looking to fill in some of those gaps and maybe answer some of the questions that you have for your idea to give you a perspective of what you'll be looking forward to that you can be developing right now. So then that way, if you have multiple ideas, you can actually take this opportunity to hear what we're going to be discussing, some of the questions that we'll be discussing, and then hopefully some more ideas are fleshed out of it. I hope that you all received the actual business plan template. It was a Word document, and I think the first page was like this. Oh shoot! Wait a minute. That's why you share your screen. Okay, don't mind me. I'm gonna share my screen. I picked up my paper as if you guys can see it, but you couldn't, so I apologize. Here we go. It looks like this. This is like probably the first page. Your company name goes here. What we're going to do today, we're actually going to walk through the components of your actual business plan and how what the writing is. And so from there, I'm going to take you all onto a website that is free, that have some templates of different industry business plans. And then we're going to walk through that. So then that way it'll help, decrease some of the intimidation factor of writing your own business plan. But hopefully, if each of you all are on here, we can probably find your template sample that I can probably load it up in the chat, or you can actually go on the website and walk with me. So then that way you can get an idea or actually have a sample that you can work from as you develop your own business plan. So that's our objectives are for today. And then the last week where we're going to do, we're going to continue up, because I don't think we're going to walk through all of it today, is to complete that process that we start today. And then we're going to really dive into the financial part of it, because I think building up the whole finance, when you start doing all of your expenses and expected, when you're trying to project what your budget is going to look like or what your startup cost is going to be, then we can actually flush that out, and then you can start forecasting. And again, this will be very easy and very helpful for those who are still flushing out ideas, because it'll give you a perspective of looking at the idea and saying, oh, this is what I have a passion in, and I think I can do this and get this particular product done or out. So are you guys ready? Me too. So I'm all excited. I'm running on a little high here, so just bear with me. Session 3. Uh-oh. I gotta share my screen first. Sharing is caring. So, okay, so here we are. If you have any questions, please unmute and say, hey, can you explain that a little bit more? Or, but this will be a great time to go ahead and get that template out, because that's what we're gonna walk through, and then we're gonna wrap up with going to some samples. So I'm just gonna go through them, each one of them step by step, so then that way we can actually get through, and then we can hop over. So we're going to talk about the parts of a business plan. We're going to talk about the opportunity. So the opportunity, which is on page number 3 in this template, is pretty much the problem and solution. You're looking at your community or your state or your city, and you're looking and saying, hey, my business is actually, oh, where do you get the template? Okay, hold on, Miss Jackson. Ms. Keisha, can you send that to Ms. Jackson, or email the template? She'll try to get to you. The problem or solution, like, what is your business? What problem are they solving, or which gap is your business actually filling? And what is your business and your product or services is the solution for that problem. So on page number 3, it talks about how to write a little bit more, because your executive summary is the last thing. Oh, okay, let's see. Okay, thank you. So when we talk about your opportunity, the problem and the solution, we're asking what the customer needs. What need do they need a better product? Now, for instance, Mr. Patrick is on here. He has hot sauce. So the question he may want to ask is, how is his hot sauce better than any other hot sauce? Because I like Frank's. Now, Frank's and I have a long-term history and love affair. So, and when I try his hot sauce, he has to convince me that you're going to turn me away and break up my relationship with Frank. So if your hot sauce, Mr. Patrick, is good as Frank, then you may have my business. Or I may just try your hot sauce to patronize you as a business and gift it to someone, because it may not be comparable to Frank. No, just kidding. But here's the thought: that's the kind of thought process you need to get into the mindset of, is because you're trying to actually convince your customer that your product is better. So how do you advertise? How do you market? How do you know hot sauce? I'm just using your product. Hot sauce is something that people want to buy to improve upon. So you may have to ideas of what are people eating the most, and how did your hot sauce accent chicken or barbecue or things of that nature. So I'm just using that as an example when we talk about problems and solutions. And if it is going to be a brick and mortar, for any of you all having a brick and mortar, is it in a location that's easily accessible for people to get into? Is it a problem right now that you see other businesses that transportation is the issue? And if it is, how do you position your business to be in the way that transportation doesn't become an issue? So you look at the problem, you look at this, and you're looking for your business to be the solution. Okay, so you want to actually flush that out, because what you want to do is, in your opportunity, in this particular section of it, you're building your case of why your business is in existence. You're pouring your passion into this whole thing, that I have identified a problem, others have identified and shared that there's a problem, I'm bringing a solution to the problem. In our society now, we want to make sure that everything is solution driven. And so that way, if you're answering and you're giving a solution to what's going to be better for the community, or for your service as being offered in the community, you want to make sure that you're giving the best platform and the best argument of why people want to use your services, and why your services or product is better than everyone else. So take the time to flush out, take the time to add the data. I think we should go, I'm gonna write this down, where you can find industry data. The census is one. That's why it's so important for people to complete the census, because you can get a lot of information out of the census in regards to people, how they spend their money. When you're talking about, put that data in there, because data drives, and it shows where the need is. And it also shows how your business can actually help either decrease the number or increase the number, whatever's favorable, to help solve that problem. So I'll make sure we get some websites where you can actually get some of that data, because people who give out money, they want to know the level of impact. And then also with the data, if your product or your service is actually a solution, you can then add the numbers to it and collect data that will help you say that this is by my business being in operation, I'm driving this number down, or I'm increasing the number of things that are available, depending on, what it is your goal is, that as far as meeting the need in the community. I just said a lot of words, and I hope that made sense. Did that make sense? Yes, shake your head, or no, that didn't make sense. Okay, hopefully it did. So the next one is the target market. We talked about this a lot. Actually, we started our first session talking about who your customer is, the market size, and the different segments. When we talked about the segments, we were talking about the actual customer profile. Who is the person? What gender do you think, or what gender is the person? Because the gender of the person makes a difference in your marketing. What is their age? What is their proposed income that will be coming and spending money in your establishment or buying your services? The market size, are you planning on concentrating in a rural area? Are you concentrating in the metropolitan area? Is it just Saginaw or the region of Saginaw? So you actually who your target market is, and we flushed that out a whole lot, because we also talked about some of your target messages, because depending on who you're selling who you're sharing your business plan with, because we found out earlier in session 1 that your business plan can be shopped to many people, and it should be in the language of the people that you're shopping your business plan to. It could be an investor, it can be an employee, it can be customers or clients. It can be actual potential business partners or other companies. So you want to make sure that when you're fleshing out your target market, you can actually identify who is going to be using your products and services. And so when we talk about describing that key customer on page 3 in the template, you want to include as detailed as many people in that segment and how large the total market is. So, and then you also want to actually, when you talk about your target market, how you want to increase the target market. So that means visualizing how would you expand your business and your services to meet other people. We talked about it in, I think, our first and second session, our direct competitors and our indirect competitors. So you want to make sure that you have a niche on that as well. And so then that way you can actually expand your target market and your customer base based on the services that you have and what your competitor is doing. Because you always want to know what your competitor is doing, which is the next thing that we're going to talk about is the competition. I think I jumped ahead a little bit, but when we talk about the competition, we want to think about our current alternatives. What are some other things that you can actually get into? So, Mr. Patrick, I know you just got on here, but I'm going to use you. Now, when your hot sauce, it does it have, let's just talk about vegan. Do all your ingredients vegan friendly? Because people may want to use your hot sauce and they may go straight to the ingredients, or can your hot sauce become, you have one that use meat products and the other one that uses just total vegetables. So that's an option. I mean, I never heard of a vegan hot sauce. Check this, but hey, it could be possible, and it could be some niche. So that's something to think about. When we talk about the competition, who are your current competitors? How close are they? Do you know where they're? Are they in any kind of radius to your business? And if so, are you planning? What type of marketing are you planning on doing to bring people closer to or to patronize you? Now, on every corner, at every corner you see a Walgreens, there's Rite Aid competitors. But if you dig a little deeper, they're pretty much all almost by the same company. But anyway, there's only really 7 major industries that actually handle everything and sell everything. I need to find that diagram because I want to share that with you all. There's a diagram that I found, I would say almost 15 years ago, that actually depicted the industry and how the industry is really ran by 7 major companies. So you got Jordache jeans, Sassoon jeans, all these different kinds of jeans. You're thinking you're getting like a different pair, but owned by the same parent company. Isn't that something? So the one company is still getting all your money, but then you think you have the power of choice. So that goes back to the movie Devil Wears Prada. Okay, sidebar. Anyway, talking about competition, that's what you want to know. You know what your competitors are doing. You want to know what industry is doing. You want to know, are there ways to actually provide some alternatives? So when you look under the competition on page number 3, one of the questions is, it says, explain your product or service is how and why your product or service is better than others, and to be sure to describe the competitive advantages you have. When you're when you're actually talking about your business, you want to talk about you. You want to have a reference of your competitor, but you really want to sell you. This is your story. This is your business, and you want to tell people how better you are. I mean, we're looking at it right now. We're looking at all of these ads on our television as we approach this election, and everybody's trying to make somebody look bad. I'm going to tell you this. You don't have to make people look bad in order to sell your stuff. Okay? The better person is always promoting what they do better. And so that's what I would say and encourage you all to do that when you're talking about your competition. Your when you talk about our advantage is what I just spoke about. What is it that you do and what you can do better than your competitor? Okay. Are there any questions or comments or anything? I'm sharing my screen, so I really can't see comments at this moment. Any questions? Were there any questions or anything, Keisha? No? Nothing in the, okay. All right. So, marketing and sales on page number 4 in the template. Your marketing and sales is, we talked about creating a marketing plan. Now, your marketing plan, how you plan on getting the word out to the community. How do you plan on getting your word out to your clients or your customers? Your marketing plan is also a great guide for those, if you have a marketing and sales team, as a pretty much their marching orders on how you want your business portrayed. If it's going to be an e-commerce, which is online, how do you plan on marketing online? How do you plan on marketing in the marketplace? How do you plan on marketing it to your investors or your employees or your customers? Your marketing plan is just as detailed and thought out as your business plan. Your marketing plan is also, because we know that our business plan is a roadmap for our business. And so just like any business or any roadmap that you're going on a trip, you sometimes hit detours. That's why you have contingency plans built inside of your business plan, because you want to flush all that out. All the things that possibly in your mind that could happen, you want to have an answer for it. Because if you think it could happen, it will happen. But the question is it in your plan so that you can remember? Because once you get into the working of your business, sometimes we don't put in the forefront that these possible things can happen. But when they happen, if you already walked yourself through that process, then you already know this is my contingency plan. Like, for instance, if there is a part or a product that you need in order for your business to grow, in your marketing plan, it should be something there that talks about how you plan on explaining to your customers that this part or this substance or this component of your service is not going to be able to fulfill the need because of, let's say, a shortage, or it could be a strike. When General Motors went on strike, they were on strike for 100 days. So General Motors had a whole marketing plan on how they were still planning to communicate that they're still in business and still going to be selling cars. So you want to have that also in your business plan as well. Your sales plan. Now, your sales plan is pretty much how the company relies on making their money. How do you plan on selling your product? So on page number 4, it says that your sales plan should explain how to convert people who express their interest in your products and service into paying customers. So you want to make sure that, like, for instance, they gave an example. This section is less important and you consider removing it. You can consider removing it. So my thought is, if you're planning on figuring out what sells best, now it was what is the name of that taco place? There was a taco place that was a food truck. Oh,
Was that TNT?
50, 50, I think it was like 50H. I don't really, oh man. The name was catchy. It was like 50H something. But they had Asian, it was an Asian restaurant. I don't remember. But my whole point was they actually catered to the appetite of people who had different taste buds, mixing different foods together. Your sales plan should actually detail that as well. If you're talking about if your company, it says if your company is sales heavy, like enterprise software or a car dealership, you need to document how you would nurture the leads and close calls. So think about those things. Do you actually need a sales team? So if you need a sales team, then how are you planning to empower your sales team to make sales for your business? So for instance, if you are a person that have just a sole proprietorship, meaning that it's just you, your sales plan is how every day that you're getting up in order that you're going to try to make a sale. And it should be written out that this is the process that I will use in order to make a sale, to get more clients into the business, get more customers, or even encourage me as the sole proprietorship or the employee. So your sales plan is very important because you want to know in black and white, you want your team to know in black and white, what are the expectations and how you plan on making the money. Now, your operations. The operations considered, it is pretty much your location and facilities, technology, equipment and tools. Okay, so here is the bulk of your operations. In your operations, you want to talk about if it's a brick and mortar, the location. If it's a facility, you want to talk about that. You want to talk about the square footage of it. You want to talk about how much space is going to be used in the business. You want to talk about is the location in a good walking space? How is the parking? You want to go all the way into great details in regards to other businesses that are surrounded, other businesses that may complement your business. Because if a person is actually planning on shopping at your business, is it complemented with other businesses around? So then that way, that means that you can be in a great place that it complements, that a person would definitely stop by your place. You had a popcorn wagon or a popcorn shop. If you had a popcorn shop in the area, everything that you're selling in that area is flavorful to people buying. Like for instance, a good popcorn shop will be great near a movie theater, even though the movie theater will probably be your competitor, because they will probably come into your establishment to probably get some seasonings. That's if your popcorn shop sells seasonings. So then that way they'll come in to the shop, get some seasonings, put it in their purse, and go to the movies, and then address their popcorn while they're eating their popcorn at the movies. Does that make sense? So you want to pay close attention to your location. Is your location on a busy thoroughway? Is it difficult for people to find parking? Is it easy for people to even just walk up and patronize your business? Do you have a drive-through? Is the location on a corner? Who and like for instance, what other businesses? Like I said, what other businesses are around? Is it a church nearby? Is it a school nearby? Is it in a residential area? When I opened up the funeral home, location was very important. When we went down and found the old church on Washington, where the current Paradise is located, we looked at everything around it. First and foremost, the zoning of it was very important because we had to see if that church can be rezoned for a commercial business, and we got it rezoned. But it was also right in the middle of a residential area. And so right in the middle of a residential area, it's surrounded by homes down the street and homes across the street. You had to make sure that was a great location. Also, directly connected to the funeral home is right in front of a cemetery. Location, location, location. And we had to take in consideration that it was on a major state thoroughway, which is M13. So if you ever been on M13 down in that area, you know that 18-wheelers come through there all the time. And you know that when you're having a processionals usually take a long time. So we came up with the idea that since the cemetery is right behind, how about we get a gate? So then that way we don't tie up traffic with a procession of people lining up down the city streets in front of people's homes, blocking their driveways, as well as not tying up traffic on M13 when we know there's only 2 lanes and people need to get in and out and keep going through on this major thoroughway. So location is very important. The facility is very important. What type of equipment do you need? Do you need to bring equipment in? What is it that you need in order for your business to move and flourish? Technology is very important, and I think sometimes as we get out now during COVID, everything is now virtual. Do you have the capabilities for the technology portion? Do you still have the bandwidth? Is your website up? Is your social media sites accurate and up to par? Do you have the bandwidth? Do you have a provider that's giving you a great deal when it comes to your technology? Do you have iPads or tablets or phones, or all of that goes into play when we're talking about technology? Can you do your business on the go? Now they have it that you can have your whole security system on your phone. Again, technology. You'll be able to answer calls. You can, I mean, they even had technology now that a person can ring your doorbell and you can be somewhere in Timbuktu and answer your door and communicate. It's an amazing thing. Do you need that type of technology for your business? It's a good question. And if so, how would you use that? How would you use that technology and different technologies available? So equipment and tools is very, very important as well. You want to know when we start talking about your expenses, is it expensive technology, or not your technology, but your equipment? Is it affordable for you to replace parts? That's important as well. Your most expensive equipment in your building, is it insured? Do you have a relationship with the manufacturer or even the inventor? Let's not negate the inventor, because you can build a relationship with the inventor that as they're bringing or upgrading their technology, that you can probably be using or be a spot for the beta testing. How about that? Now that is a relationship that would turn, I mean, like hands down, that means that you're always on a cutting edge and you don't have to come up with the innovation. It's available to try the product out for the manufacturer or the inventor. Think about, do you have a business where you're actually selling a particular, let's say, food or alcohol? Because I know Sabrina was talking about a business for mobile. You know, developing a relationship with the actual places that house the containers. What is it called? What's the packaging and logistics? Supply chain managers. Supply chain managers, because supply chain managers, if you're delivering or you're moving anything around, that's their expertise in regards to packaging and getting things where they need to go. Talk about building these type of relationships in your operation. You want to work smarter, and as many people that you can probably collaborate on that are outside that will help your business, it would be a very advantageous move to get into the industry and figure out who's doing what, who supplies what, and how do you partner with them in order to drive down the cost for your business in order to operate your business. Any questions or thoughts? Questions? Okay. Now, milestones and metrics. We talked about it in your action plan. That was the last slide that we talked about in the action plan last week. We were talking about how to make our SMART goals that are time bound, putting ourselves to make ourselves accountable to make sure that we're moving our business forward. So that's on page number 5. It says list your key milestones and dates that you hope to accomplish them by. It said, if you already have accomplished the key goals in your business, list them here as evidence that your business is getting traction. This is so important. This is so important. Now, I love this part of it because when you visualize, when you sit down at the beginning, you begin to visualize what your business is and you're going through the motions and you hit a hiccup. When you have your milestones there and you're consistent in keeping your milestones on track, you pull that up. If it's out on a board and you're looking at it, that brings encouragement. And the reason I said it's a source of encouragement is because when you hit a hiccup and you feel like, oh my God, oh, now what am I going to do now? And your mind is going a million places trying to solve this one particular problem. And sometimes discouragement can sit in. But when you have your milestones up that you have checked off and you was consistent, that would encourage you that much further than you were before you hit that little speed bump. And that you can continue because you'll probably have a reference point of how you succeeded in checking off those milestones. You may have even hit an obstacle, found a solution, but you still checked it off and you reached the milestone. And so those milestones are very important in places of encouragement and hope that you're still moving and that you still got what it takes in order to make your business thrive. So I would say definitely make sure that you set those SMART goals for yourself and for your business so that you can track how you're moving in your business when you want to. Also, this is not a whipping stick either. When I say a whipping stick, this is not the place where you get down and really hard on yourself that you didn't make a goal. No, it's supposed to encourage you to keep moving to make the goal. So if you hit your milestone, the date on your milestone, and you didn't quite complete the task, add a couple of days to it or add a week, add something that you know is going to be doable for you because life happens. Those milestones are there to help make sure you keep moving forward. And when you don't reach them, it's not the end of the world. Okay? It's not the end of the world. It is just like, okay, I need to buckle down and make the next goal. But you use your milestones as a place of encouragement to continue to move forward. Like, oh my God, I got all of these things done. I'm ahead of schedule. Then keep adding milestones and keep moving forward. But if you one of those individuals like, you know what, I'm just not feeling it. Look at your milestones and say, okay, you got to keep going. And if you have to add some personal things attached to it, like for instance, if you having a business and you say, you know what, I'm doing this for my, or I'm doing this because I have this person that I want to make proud, put their picture up on the end of the milestone because that's the person you'll call, or that's the person that you want to give homage to because that's the person that you want to be able to say, you know what, I made that goal. And then it makes it personal, and then it adds a level of accountability. Okay? As a business owner, you want different levels of accountability. If you're in business, you want somebody to check your coattail, okay? Because the bottom line is we get into in the trenches of things, and we can find somewhere, find a tangent that we think is a good rabbit trail, and you need somebody to say, that's not on our milestone, okay? Keeping you back on track so you can keep making your financial goal. Is that good? I think that was good. I'm encouraged. Yes. All right, any questions? Okay, your key metrics. Your key metrics are part of those SMART goals where you're using that are measurable, okay? It explains the performance metrics are most important for understanding how your business is doing. So you need to make sure that you have those key bullet points to say, okay, you know, our sales plan, if you're being driven by your sales plan, our sales plan is on point because our people are making their quota. You want to make sure that you have those metrics. What are they? How do you know that they're making their quota? How do you know you are making the business? Because once you get into the operation of your business, some of those small things get knocked out of whack, and you like it's not even on your mind. So if you're planning on selling, when you sit down and say, okay, I want to sell 5 screwdrivers. So you have this hardware store. I want to sell 5 screwdrivers, but you have drill bits, you got drills, you got light bulbs, you have all of these. And by the end of the month, you're looking at, okay, did I meet the quota of my 5 screwdrivers? Did I sell them? You need to have a metric in place to say, ting, 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 ting. You only sold 2 screwdrivers. You still need to sell 3. You need to, or to the point, ting, 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 ting. Man, you sold 10 screwdrivers. And then you can go back to your sales plan and your marketing plan and say, hey, what was different that I sold 10 screwdrivers in 1 month when we usually only sell 5? So then you start looking at the different trends of how things are being sold in your business, and then you, we did something that drove that particular item up. So what was that? That's a metric. So that way you can start applying it to other areas of your business. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. We're moving. So, company. Now this is on page number 6 in the template. Now over here to I have a list of a whole lot of different companies. Now I just want you all to realize you do see some big name companies that are on here, but there are also small companies you probably never heard of that companies run. So don't downplay how small your business is, because you may be just a small business that creates screwdrivers. Well, your screwdrivers will, if it's really good and good quality, can be funneling to Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, Ace Hardware, Hardware Express. So you have all these, you have 6 different companies that your small little one company make screwdrivers for. So don't downplay your company. Okay, so about your company on page number 6. We're going to talk about your company overview. Now, your overview, according to this, is like who runs your company. Are there multiple owners? It describes each and every one of them. So this is where you are beginning to toot your horn about your business. You want the details in your business plan. The detail: who's the major owner and player of the company. You want to give their background. You want to talk about who they are. You want to talk about what role do they play. If your company also has profit sharing, or they actually have the ability to talk about how much shares they have or how much ownership they have, you want to disclose that information as well. You want to disclose their credentials. Their credentials is very important because that gives credence to your employee that you have capable people who are running your company. You also want to talk about the structure of your company. So you want to give pretty much an overview. You want to talk about the structure of your company. You want to know if it's an LLC. Is it an S corporation? Is it a C corporation? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it an LLP? Was it a limited liability partnership? Because if it's multiple people in the partnership, you want to disclose every person that is part of your company overview. You want to talk about how these individuals are going to be playing a role in your company. Now, when it comes to the team are the individuals who are on the ground. Okay, we're going to talk about your management team. So these are the list of people that are in your team, including you as the owner, and it describes the skill set, the experience, and all the whole 9. Now, your management team or your employees that have some major weight in your company, you want to explain who they are. So if you are running a graphic design company, you want to make sure that you have your key graphic designer highlighted. You want to talk about their experience. You want to talk about their education. You want to talk about some of their former positions that they actually held and how they came to know you. You want to talk about your executive assistant, because they're the ones that's going to be probably the voice to you as the owner of the person who's going to be, a lot of people in the community is going to be talking to, or your vendors will be talking to. You want to, this is the time you just shine, everybody who's in the business, who are helping you make money, because you want to give the confidence to your funder. You want to give the confidence to your customer that who you have running your operation or working with you in your operation have what it takes in order to provide the service or product that they're looking to purchase. So you want to give that confidence in black and white. Now, the business plan, again, is fluid. Fluid is because every time your employees, your teams may not work out. So you want to be able to make sure that if a person leaves that's major in your company and you replace that person, make sure that person is inside of your business plan, because you never know when you're going to be actually passing out that business plan to someone. You want your business plan to be accurate of who's on your team. This business plan does not live on your shelf. It lives in your hand and in your heart, okay? I'm up here wagging my finger, because most times people do a business plan and they don't use it. You're not putting all this hard work in it not to use it. Use your business plan. I'm going to tell you, it'll help you. But your team, make sure your team, that company overview, even if you add a product or a service or another location, update your business plan. That in your business plan. You have to go back to the previous slide when we talk about location. Make sure that location is added to your business plan. Whatever you add or take away that's included in your business plan, make sure that your business plan is updated. So that means that on a monthly or quarterly basis, you should be looking at your business plan to make sure that you're on track. Okay? That's the thing that we talked about. And advisors. Now, there's nothing wrong with having advisors. As a matter of fact, I would say have an advisor. Have advisors. When I say have advisors, I'm talking about lawyers, accountants, whatever. I mean, even people in the industry organizations, individuals that you can consult and ask questions about your business to make sure that you stay on top of things. That's most important as well. I mean, even if you got family members who are business savvy, put them on your advisory team. You have somebody on your team that you trust. Again, going back to their whole point of accountability, put them on you as an advisor. People, a few yes people, but have people that challenge you around you as well. Don't get everybody that's like you who won't agree with you, because they're not going to make you money. You want people who are going to agitate you, that you love. That agitate, because those are the individuals who are going to keep you on your game and going to challenge you to make sure that you're seeing every possible perspective or outlook for your business. And it's all for good and not for naught. Now, you should also be able to identify individuals too who can take advantage of you. So you want to make sure of that as well. Now, one side note that I will say before we hop off and go to, we're not going to do financial plan. One thing that before we hop off and go to the website that I'm going to show you how some samples of some business plans, I want to tell you this. As you all are developing your concept and having, now this is a safe space. Now, Keisha good people, I'm good people. I ain't going to take your stuff and run. Anytime, and this is where business people get messed up. When you're talking to advisors and talking to people about your business or a product or anything that you're selling, you should have a contract of non-disclosure in your hand. Carry it with you everywhere you go. The reason I say you need to have that piece of paper, because you want them individuals to sign that piece of paper before you start talking about your idea. Okay? I'm going to tell you, people steal ideas all the time. Okay? Non-disclosure. So that means that in that non-disclosure clause, you can tell how long the person can even talking about your conversation. And if you hear it again, you can actually sue. Okay? I was taught that lesson that you have a non-disclosure, because that non-disclosure tells people that you mean business about your business.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know where to stop you. So
Also,
all these different, all these different, like LLCs, LLP, C type, S type, all that kind of stuff. How can you look that up to know what it is that what category your business falls up under? And what about if you have like a name for an idea or a business that you want to start? How do I secure that name? Or is that like backwards to try to secure a name for a business or ID that you have without having a business plan?
No. There's there are like set steps that you can take in order to make sure that that actually happens. You can actually go on Michigan.gov under Lara, and you can do a business lookup. You can put the business name in there, and then when you got the business name in there, it'll tell you if there's any other business in with that name. So you can actually do a business lookup. When it comes to LLC, I will give you the link for SBA.gov. It gives a great explanation of all of the different categories, LLC, LLP, and also you can get that information on Lara too. So allow me to pull that up, and I'll pull it up before we. I'm gonna go to the website. Anybody else have a question? Cause I'm gonna go to the website so everybody can see it. That's a good question.
Hey, I was wondering if your mission statements and your what do you call it? What's the other one? Mission and vision statements, maybe. Do those evolve and can they change? Oh, okay. I think that was what I was hung up on. Because I don't know. I know what we're starting off doing in the business, but there's other plans to add other services. So that's what I kind of was thinking a little bit too much about it. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think I got it.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm looking at Michigan.gov. They have a one-stop business. Um, go. Right here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Here we go. All right, so this is Michigan.gov. And this is the actual Lara page. And this is where they have online services where you can actually look up business entity searches for, and you can search business corporations, all of this stuff is right here on the Lara page. So this is what it looks like, Michigan.gov up under, you can do Michigan.gov, and I just put /business. Let me see, let's do so in here, you can put in the name of the business. You can put in the person's name. If they have a identification number, you can put that in as well. So if you put in, let's just say I'll put in for, I'm just going to use them. Boom, First Word Community Service. It gives our old number. We have a new ID number, and it gives the address. So when I click on it, it actually tells that we are a nonprofit organization. It actually tells when we actually got incorporated. It has my information because I'm the resident agent. Because you are the business owner, you don't have to be the resident agent. It could be your accountant. It could be anyone who is doing business on your behalf. And then also list down the different officers and directors of the corporation. And it also writes down all of our filings that we have done since we became incorporated through the state of Michigan. So you can put any kind of business in there. You can do a search by the name of the company. So you can just put it in there. Let me see. You can even look up licenses. If there's a particular license that your business may need or need to have, if they're professional, you can do that as well. Commercial licenses, you can look up, if, like for instance, if you're doing construction or any type of business that would need a license, you can go in here and search that as well. Let's see.
Also look for national name search. If you're from a different state, does it also show that for the guy that wants to do national work or international work?
You can go on irs.gov and you can put in for national companies and it'll pull up that information as well. Let's see. It was another, she had another question. What was the other question? The business name? Oh, LLC. Let me see. Business. Oh. So when you go into all of the online services under the business tab for Laura, there's a wealth of information in regards to the different businesses in the different areas, even the departments throughout the state. Now, I would say this. If you have a business, once you're up and going and you're all set and ready to go, think about becoming a vendor for the city of Saginaw, for the county of Saginaw, as well as for the state of Michigan, because there are opportunities that they will search you out for to outsource or to do some businesses on their behalf. I'm a vendor with the city of Saginaw. When they need for me to do this class, they contract me to do this class on behalf of the city of Saginaw for SEDC. So if you have a business, regardless of whatever it takes to run a city, your business could possibly be a vendor for the city, the county, and the state. So that's something to consider as well. But Laura is a good place. At one point, they did have a. Hold on. Let me see. SBA. Not good. So on to SBA.gov. As soon as it pulls up. Now, SBA is the definition for a small business association. Small business administration. Here we have a whole workup. Let's see, business structure. To launch a business, this is a great site. I would recommend this site for anyone to go on that's interested in learning how to do whatever it is. Plan your business, write your business plan, calculating startup costs, funding your business. Also, here's the question that she asked about business structure. Okay, as soon as it pulls up. Right here is the information about business structure. It gives the common definition of what a sole proprietorship is. And a sole proprietorship is one person. A partnership, you have limited partnerships, limited liability partnerships. And when you go into partnership, you do need to have an agreement in place, and that's also part under Lara for you to identify who's the key person in the partnership. That's very important. Then you have limited liability companies, and that pretty much protect your personal assets. So it separates your personal assets from your business assets. Yep. I'm just talking ahead because I know what I'm talking about. Come on here. Yeah, see the image? Your personal from your business. Listen, the IRS don't play when it comes to doing these taxes and things of that nature. I will let you know that your business can pay you a salary. So you can actually get a salary where you're actually deducting businesses' expenses. And we'll talk about that in the finance part of it. Because the bottom line is that most people that are in business and big corporations, they're employees of their company. So in other words, they're not doing the whole absorbing and all of the tax. So in other words, you take your money from the because you're the owner and not an employee, you're the owner, you're paying personal taxes and business taxes. Well, the smart thing is to do structure a way where you're an employee, that they give you a check and you only have to pay one set of taxes and you get deductions on expenses and stuff like that. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people ain't spending a lot of their money. They using their company in order to fund, but it has to be reasonable. It has to be reasonable. Okay. Choosing your business name, how to register it, how to protect it. Let's look that up. Okay. The name entity is protected at the state level. That's why I showed you on the LARA. Your trademarks, if you have trademarks or signatures, that's done on a federal level. And there's a website specifically for trademarks and copyrights. If you have a book or you have like a signature sauce, you want to make sure that it gets trademarked. So that's when you see the little C and the little R. The R means that it's registered. I think C is copyright, but you want to make sure that you have the right ones. If it's a logo, the whole nine, they'll walk you through that whole entire process of getting your stuff trademarked and protected. Doing as it pretty much is allowing you to run your business in another name. So it's like having a nickname for your business, a professional nickname for your business. The reason I say this is because, like, for instance, First Ward Community Service is the entity, but we're going to be doing business as First Ward Envision Center. So that means that if I get a check that says written out to the Envision Center, I'm not going to have any issues putting it in my bank because I already have it filed through the county that I'm doing business as. And then domains and things of that nature. You can, all of that can be done between LARA and IRS. Okay. Information.
I got a quick question. Would this be something that we should kind of attack on our own, or what do you think about like recommending like a third party like LegalZoom to, like, is it worth the money to pay them to kind of go through everything like kind of for you or help you out with it?
Oh, as far as your legal paperwork. So if you do have
and like the
you can. It's all based on your comfort level.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. I would say if you can find those forms for free and then roll through it, because the bottom line is what you want to do is make sure you feed them the information that's most important to you and your company. So they will have some other language and language that would protect you in other ways and other levels. But you want to make sure that the basis of what you want to get protected is protected. And then read all of the indemnifications and small prints and stuff like that. Like arbitration is big deal. You want to make sure that's in. You want to make sure that's in there as well. But that non-disclosure, you can find it online. Find it online. Change the language. Most likely you can download it, make it a Word document, but have one with you all the time. This is an idea to any. I don't care if it's just an idea, and you're talking to somebody who is not connected to your business. Have them sign it before you say anything. And I'm gonna tell you, the person that has to sign it is gonna question if they want to hear what you have to say. And it shows that you mean business. Okay? All right. So we're moving along. Good night. Okay, hold on. All right, so here we are. we are going to find some sample business plans. Woo! Okay, y'all tell I like doing this stuff, right? Okay, here we go. All right, I'm gonna share my page. All right, so this website that we're on right now. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. All right, the website that we're on right now is called bplans.com. So on bplans.com, so show you what it looked like when you hop on, because I already so when you come on bplans.com, you're gonna come here. All right. This is the main page for B plans. Now you have the option that they have over 500 sample plans. And up here, you also have business plan, elevator pitch guides, how to start a business, fund your business, and business management. But this is where we're going to go right now. And guess what, guys? You can download them. Right. So here we go. So we're going into the templates. Now, when you go into the templates, I'm going to give you some tips. First and foremost, before we even dive into this, you're going to select according to the industry that your business is in to make it easy. So if you're in a restaurant business, if you're in manufacturing, you're going to go into the industry. The second thing is that I'm going to say is you may not find the exact match, but find something that's comparable to your business that you're looking to do a business plan for. Okay, some of these are templates and some of my actual business plans, and they change them around and they let people use them. Third thing is resist the urge to cut and paste out of the plan. Why? Because that's that other person's idea and it may not match yours, but you can use it to help flush out your own ideas. Okay, that's the whole purpose. Resist plagiarizing. Listen, ain't nothing wrong with picking up a couple of keywords. Like, dang, I ain't think about that part. But make sure that the voice is on your own. Because I'm gonna tell you, when you go to a bank no cookie cutters. They know when you use somebody else's stuff because it don't match the environment, it don't match the community, it don't match the target market or anything. So that's why you want to use it as a template so you can develop your own. But it's a good source of information. All right. So who want to go first? Who want to give us an idea? Because the bottom line is I want everybody to leave here with some type of a sample plan or even this website so that you go back and say, okay, I want to use this. So if you notice, under county insurance compliance, there are 25 different samples under this particular industry. Children education, pet business plans, 33. So we got a plethora of options. Okay. Business plans, event planning, entertainment, recreation, farming, agriculture. We got it. So who want to share? Let's see what we can find.
I need something based around alcohol.
Alcohol, food and beverages. Let's go. We got 77 different options. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's go ahead and pick out one. No, so business, food and beverage business plans. So these are some samples. They have a bakery restaurant. So these are the titles of the different businesses. So you have a bed and breakfast. Let's see. Here we go. We got a bar and brewery. Let's go. Let's see. We have a tavern, brewery, karaoke bar, microbrewery, nightclub, saloon, singles bar, sports bar, and a hookah bar. You got a plethora to choose from.
I guess a bar or brewery.
The brewery.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at that one. Now, get into your thought process of which ones you want to go into. So this is just an example. So when you go in on the left hand side of the panel, they have the whole outline, so you can actually skip through the different ones you want to actually go through. And this is consistent for all of them. Okay, so here's the executive summary, which we write last. It talks about it in great detail, like snapshots. Okay, let's see. It talks about the marketing strategy that they're going to use as far as the customers and getting them in. They talk about their promotional strategy. So this is the executive summary of what they're planning on doing and how to advertise. They talk about their target market, which consists constituents. I said constitute of corporate and working class who appreciate good quality traditional beer. That's who they're targeting their money to. Okay, here's some stats about the company. Their primary target in a market share of 6% to attain sales approximately 1.5 million during their initial year. Okay, so they're telling them up front how much money they want to make on this market, how much they want to make in a year. Okay, let's see. They talk about how they intend to compensate. They plan to compensate the personnel well. How? Through their invaluable experience, job satisfaction, enrichment, authority, all of that. Encouraging all employees to close to our customers to think tactical about the brewery service and the service that they're offering. So they're going into great detail on how they're planning on encouraging their employees to interact with their customers. Okay, so this is all executive summary for the product. Oh, I should have stayed. No, we'll just do this. So this is the brewery. This is their products. This is what they're planning on selling. Produces and markets several. So they have X, Y, and B beer, X, Y, and Z beer, and then they go into detail that Z beer actually has 4 different types of flavors. Then they go into a product description of all of their beer. Okay. Remember we talked about the competition. Talk about the most significant competitor right here is XX Brewery, and they're listing out what they have, and then what is their key advantage in the competition against XX Brewery. I'm trying to get that word
backwards
together.
for a minute though. With selling alcohol though, so you have to have a liquor license, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I hear people say that is like a major thing, or it can be very expensive, or it's hard to apply for.
I've heard that too, but Sabrina, did they have their stuff in place?
I don't know. I have to look into it.
See, that's one of the key things is that people make it hard, but the system's not hard when you are following their process. If you
Okay.
have everything in place, it ain't hard to get a liquor license. Because I know people that get a liquor license don't have no problem because they got their stuff in place and they got the money. So you have to decide what type of liquor you want to sell, because I don't know. I never actually filled out an application for a liquor license, but I'm thinking probably top shelf or the location. All of it has to deal with the cost.
Okay.
And
That's where I'm kind of getting stuck with what I want to do with my idea, because I don't know what I can do
search.
with alcohol.
Research. Yeah, research it out. Just research it out.
Okay.
Yep, research it out.
And that's on the Laura, right? About the liquor license, that's on the Laura site, right? Or no?
On the Laura, yeah, all licenses. We're gonna talk next week, but I want to pop in on a financial plan. They make some important assumptions. They give an overview, and then they make some assumptions about the economy without a recession, and then if there's no unforeseen, what type of impact they can actually make. So they got the current interest rates. They have a break-even analysis, pretty much how much money are you spending and how much money you need to sell to just does it have zero to balance itself out. Most times in the business, you want to decrease your expenses so you have a profit. Okay, so that break-even analysis is basically saying with all of our expenses, we need to sell X amount of product in order for us to just cover our costs for being in business. We'll talk about profit and loss and how to create this type of table. Next, and forecast. Forecasting is basically saying that I have X, Y, and Z. I'm going to plan on each week. I'm planning on selling X number of X beer, or X number of Y beer, or Z beer, and all of the four. I how many of those I want to sell in a day, in a week, or in a month, or a year's time. And then your projected cash flow is taking what you said that you're going to forecast, adding a fixed dollar amount to it. So if you're talking about selling a shot of Patron, how much does a shot of Patron cost? And how many you plan on selling in a day? So if you're saying, hey, I plan on selling 10 Patron shots in a day at the cost of $5, then you know at the end of the day, you should have $50 for Patron shots. How often you plan on doing that? So then that way, you know that at the end of the day, I should have $50 in Patron shots. I should have, let's say you did the same thing with beer, or your same thing with martinis. All of those have to be added out, so then that way you can have projected cash flow. So then that marketing, you're moving your business to meet your bottom line, which is your break even. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay. Is there any you want to see here in the we can go back out. So that's for Sabrina, you got quite a few options. So yeah, this is good. I didn't go all the way down to the executive summary. So they were talking about making 1.5 million. 1.5 million in the in sales. The actual profit, net profit, that net profit is roughly, I don't even know how much that is. I'm less than like it's less than 50,000 of a net profit. The bottom line is they want to sell as much as they can. You could, when we get done next week, you'll be able to know what your net profit is going to be for your business and how to calculate it. So even if you're not a math whiz, Excel can be your best friend. And they got Excel sheets that are already written out for profit and loss statements. Okay? So you don't actually, all you need to do is plug the numbers in, and it'll create your income sheet, your balance sheet, your profit and loss statement. It'll do all of that for you. So this is one example of a business. So you have catering, coffee shops, specialty foods and beverage shop, Whole Foods. Let's see. Trying to see if there's anything with custom painting. Yep, they have some painting contractors, quilt, business craft, pottery. Let's see, car. Automobile restoration business plans. They have a couple. Auto repair. So they have someone who you can just type in, which one that you're looking at, and you can just go through all of them and find out, what other people are doing, some things that, hey, give you another idea. Okay.
Michelle,
Yes.
so this bpplans.com, they give you example industries. You can get example business plans. You can go through the whole steps. I see where it had in the categories where you can do the financials and the executive summary. Oh, this is really great. So you guys, really resourceful information.
Yeah, and it's free. And now I will say this, this business, this site here called Live Plan. If you really say, you know what, I do really well on a computer, um, Live Plan actually allows you. It asks you the question, and you just answer the question, and it help you guide what you're doing. So it's like taking this the template that we have, but having it on a computer. It is a monthly cost service to it as well. But you can maximize on B plans because they got some templates right here that you can actually go into. When you see the word SWOT, if you're in business or plan on going in business, a SWOT analysis is pretty much your strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So your strengths and weaknesses are internal, mainly specifically about your business, but your opportunities are external. Opportunities are where you can expand your business and do more. And then your threats are pretty much your competitors or things that can actually derail or actually harm your business. So those are external things. Your strengths and weaknesses are internal. That's pretty much inside the company. This is what we're good at, and the weaknesses are what we need to improve on. So actually doing a SWOT analysis is also a good place to identify where you are in your business as well. So I would say as you're going through this, they also have how-to videos. So I'll click on that, so then that way you can see some of the things that they're talking about. Oh, they're even telling you to subscribe. Subscribe to the business. So they actually have more information about how to write a business plan, how to get the most out of a sample business plan, why business plans are important. So they have a list of different ways: how to forecast sales, how to write your executive summary, and they're on here how to write a business plan in under an hour. Good luck. I want to see that one. So I think this website is a pretty decent website to actually go on and actually try to flesh out some things and understand more about your business and how to structure it. But SEDC is here. Keisha is there. I'm around. You're more than welcome to just ask those questions. But you know, sometimes you up late in the midnight hour thinking about your business, and you just want to go on and just find some more resources. I think bplans.com is a great resource for anybody who's interested in starting a business or just need to figure out what they want to do, what's already out there. I would say definitely take the opportunity to go through some of these sample business plans and just have fun. Just have fun dreaming about your business and just writing what you possibly can. Any questions? You can even do this as an exercise. The one-page business plan. Let's see. Trying to see if I can pull up one. Oh, it's no, this ain't the same one, is it? Oh, I think it is. Ha! It's the same template. See, I ain't creating nothing new. I was trying to find. Yep, it's the same one. Listen, this is what you do. You don't recreate the wheel. You just know what you're talking about. How about that? Okay. Well, it is now 12:40, so we got 20 minutes left. We can use the 20 minutes, or we don't have to use the 20 minutes. It's up to y'all. This is all about you. I hope this was helpful. Y'all a good class. Y'all have questions. All right, work with me.
I have a lot of questions, but I don't want to take up time, and I don't want everybody else to be like they got more questions, so I'm wait and give somebody else some time.
Sabrina, please ask your questions. If they're not asking their questions, you take advantage of the opportunity you have.
Brian, you knew, was this helpful?
Yeah, it was.
All right.
If you have questions, please ask your questions. Because you may say something that somebody else didn't think of or spark an idea with someone else, and that's how you get the most out of our workshops. So if you have questions, please ask your questions.
Well, I have a question for Keisha.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Come on, Keith.
Well, I keep hearing about all this money that the city has to give away. But I'm wondering, is it more of like grants or loans that the city provide new business owners whenever they get money to disperse?
Great question. So what happens is through the CARES Act, we did get dollars. So we have a nonprofit program here at the city, and we have the for-profit program, which is the program that I work with, which is SEDC, the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation. And we got about, let's just say we got a substantial amount of dollars. That's how we were able to do the forgivable loan that we had.
Okay.
And each business had the opportunity. You had to be an established business. You couldn't be a new business. Had to be established, had to be in business for at least 2 years in the city of Saginaw, and you had the opportunity to get up to $5,000.
Okay.
Um, that was determined by the status of your application. So your application was graded. All those applications that were submitted were graded, and then we had a scoring bar, and that determined the amount of dollars that you would actually receive as a business. And so we still do have dollars for forgivable loans. But what happens is the application has closed. We're going to have another round of forgivable loans for businesses in the city. But if you're not an already established business, then you
Right.
wouldn't qualify. You wouldn't qualify. But we do have SEDC dollars, which are regular SEDC dollars, which you can use for machinery, equipment, inventory, machinery, and commercial property for new businesses or existing businesses or startup businesses. But the key selling point is going to be, again, your business plan. That's one of the main factors of the application. And so we have a checklist. It is on the city's website as well. If you go on the city's website and go under department and you go to Saginaw Economic Development Corporation, and there's some documents there. You can see the checklist there. And that checklist entails everything that you're going to need to apply. So we have two types of loans. We have the macro, which is up to $220,000. We have the micro loan, which is $35,000 or less. Same process for both. Okay. There is an application fee associated with those loans. Okay. And so then we have a second bunch of dollars, which are the SEDC COVID dollars. And these are the dollars we received through the CARES Act. Okay. So we're doing them the same way. So you can get up to $220,000 through the COVID CARES Act dollars, or you can get $35,000 or less through the COVID CARES dollars. But with those dollars, there's more flexibility. You can use them for working capital. And when I say working capital, you can use them for payroll, you can use them for advertising, you can use them for marketing, whereas the regular SEDC dollars you cannot use for those things. Okay.
Okay. And all this is right on the website.
So the COVID dollars is not on the website, but the regular SEDC dollars is on the website. You can see the checklist, and the checklist entails for both application processes.
Okay.
So the checklist that's everything that you're going to need to apply for those dollars. Okay.
Okay.
So, are you an existing business or a new business or?
We are currently trying to get going. We just
Okay.
bought a building. We're renovating it and working on getting our LLC together, a business name. So we're just getting started, but we're in the process
Okay.
purchasing inventory and that type of stuff. So,
Okay. You don't have a business plan in place?
no, not yet.
Okay. Okay. And
We
so
didn't think
where's your
we
business?
needed one at first because we had the money to buy it. So now I'm
Oh,
finding that
okay.
a business plan is more useful than what we originally thought.
Okay, good, good, good. What kind of business? Where is it located? Where's the business located? Is it in the city or?
Yes, it's on Mackinac, 2508 Mackinac over by Arthur Hill. And it's an old hair salon that we bought and we've
Okay.
gutted it and just trying to get it cleaned up and presentable
Oh, okay. All
before we
right. Good
open
for
up.
you. Okay.
Yes. So I will
All
be
right.
bugging you guys.
All right. Well, we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Sabrina, you have any more questions? You're so shy. Don't be shy.
Question regarding the funding that's available through the city. Um, I did hear you say that some of it, well, pretty much most of it is for already established businesses, pretty much 2 years and under. What about new startups? Is there any devoted to new startups?
There are no grant dollars for new startups. You had to be an existing business to be eligible for the grant dollars, the forgivable dollars. Those dollars were promoted towards established businesses already. But we do have the SEDC dollars, which are they are dollars that you have to borrow. They're not forgivable, but the rates are reasonable, and it's a great opportunity for a small business to take advantage of. And another thing you want to keep in mind as new businesses and startup businesses, let's just say you came to us and you said, well, I'm going to start off small. I'm going to borrow $10,000 to get my business going or to do some things that I need to do. You have to wait at least 12 months. You could go back and reapply again as long as you're current and on time with your payment. So that's a way to establish your history with us as a financial institution, and maybe start off small and then grow yourself to the point of for other uses. Any other questions for me or Michelle? Or we got about 12 minutes.
This is
I,
what.
I have a question.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay. With my hot sauce, I've been doing it for like maybe 4 years. I have my LLC, I have my DBA. All I have to do now is just cook in front of the health department. But in process of me doing that, I gave a lot of samples out, and I have like Jack's Fruit Market wants to put it in 4 of their stores, 2 in Saginaw, 2 in Bay City. And then I have Michael Zinder that owns the Bavarian Inn wants to put it in 6 of his stores. And I'm new to the business world, so I mean, do you guys have something where it does like a breakdown of wholesale and what you sell it for that way?
We don't have a breakdown of wholesale, but I think like the example that Michelle gave, the BP B bplans.com, that website, you may want to go into the maybe bottling industry or the wholesale industry of different sauces. I'm sure there should be an example there, and they could, you know, they will give the example in the financial piece as to like how much they cost, how much the expenses are versus how much they're charging for the item. And then so you would be able to come to like a break even. So that will help you to conclude to, you can compare it to your sauce as to how much your items cost in order to make the sauce, and what is the comparable cost in that industry as to other sauces or barbecue sauces or hot sauces. And that way that would give you an idea if you're on the mark far as a selling price.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's bplans.com is what that website is. and you want to go there, and you would pick your industry that you're in, and then you want to go to the financial piece, and you should be able to find some example that would help you to forecast that, or figure out how much you actually should be selling that item for.
Okay.
Any other questions? Brian, any other questions, or anyone else?
Well, I got one more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so with the loans that you guys do, just say I want to get a loan to where I can get like more bottles and do like some promotional stuff, and then just say down the line I want to do maybe like a food truck.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would that all be considered as one loan, or would I have to do two different loans?
Okay, so first off, do you want to, so you're saying you need a loan for like inventory, so to speak?
Right.
Okay, so then are you going to get the food truck right away, or is this something a year down the line that you're going to do, or?
Probably down the line, but I was thinking I'm going to be using the SBRC building to manufacture my hot sauce. But if I had a food truck, could I do it there?
You could produce the hot sauce there at the marketplace, like we spoke about. And then if you had a food truck, you could use that food truck to distribute throughout the area, to different stores and stuff that you have contracts with. Like you said, you have Zenders wants to partner with you, and Jack's. So you could use the truck to distribute to those different companies. So you could possibly apply for a loan. Let's just say you applied for $50,000. You're going to use $30,000 for your truck, and then you're going to use $20,000 for inventory. So that is definitely a possibility. You would just have to apply. You'd have to get a couple estimates, so to speak, of what a food truck would cost and where you would get those food trucks from. So you would need an invoice, not an invoice, a projected invoice from a couple places for a food truck, and you would need projected invoices for the inventory that you're going to purchase with those dollars.
Okay.
So, and all of that, that would be included with the checklist as well. So you need, so any dollars when you borrow from SEDC, anything that you're going to use those dollars for. So like, for example, with Brian, if you're going to use it for inventory, hot sauce bottles, ingredients of the hot sauce, you would have to go out, price those things, and then you would have to submit those estimates to myself. So like if you're going to buy 50 bottles at whatever the cost is, you'd have to have the actual document showing that. So if you're going to ask for $50,000, you need to have receipts and totals and invoices that total $50,000 to say how you're going to spend those dollars.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Any other questions about the business plan, about SEDC, about?
Can you hear me? This is Violet. Can you all hear me?
I'm sorry, I heard someone, but.
I just wanted to say, I'm from West Virginia. I don't know how I got on the call, but your presentation is excellent. I do business planning and strategic planning, and after the first meeting, I couldn't come last week because I had an obligation, but I decided I wanted to come through the rest of them. So those of you that haven't done a lot of this, they're doing an excellent job. I don't know how anybody even gets through how to do a business plan in 5 hours or 6 hours or whatever it is that you have during this training. So great work.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's give a hands up to Miss Michelle McGregor for that. She definitely is very informative, is a wealth of information to all of us, to me as well. I also learn every time that I get the opportunity to sit and listen. There's always room to learn new information. So always be teachable. Always be open to learn new information, because there's always the opportunity to learn something new. And so We're excited that you could join us and that you're enjoying these sessions. So kudos.
So I have a question, Ms. Violet. Does Ms. Violet do business plans?
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I do business plans because I've been a CEO or administrator of a lot of different agencies over the last 35 years. And I also do strategic planning facilitation and things for like community action agencies and nonprofits in the state of West Virginia. So
Wow.
I always learn something for that. Yeah.
So, Ms. Violet, are you available to help us with our clients that we have on here?
Yeah, they have some pretty exciting things going on. Yes, they do. I'm sure if I could answer any questions or help somebody, because it's just there is a standard format, but there are a lot of questions, especially when you're getting started. I think. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Thank you.
So, Ms. Violet, if you wouldn't mind, you could forward me your information. I'll use you as a resource. Maybe I can funnel people to you. I do have people that come to me all the time looking to have business plans written. So maybe you could, maybe that would be a resource of revenue for you. That's awesome.
Now that is how you network. Small businesses make the world go round, and I didn't know. I'm so glad that I wasn't seeing anything false. See, you never know who's talking in front of us. You better know what you're talking about. Anyway.
You certainly do know what you're talking about. Yeah. Good.
All right. So thank you again, Ms. Violet. So did everyone receive their template for the business plan? I have created an email group for the business plan workshop. I know a couple of people asked for me to send them during the session today, and I did that. So did everyone else receive a copy of the template?
I did notice that several of the groups or people were concerned or stuck on the mission statements. And one thing I do when I'm writing mission statements, a lot of times I'm helping people write them, is start it with the sentence that this agency, whatever your agency or program is called, exists too. What's your purpose? Because that's what the mission statement basically is, your purpose of being in business. So if that helps any, I hope that it does, because I think some of you are making it a little more complicated than it needs to be. Yeah, especially starting
out. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Violet. Again, so it is just about 1:00 now. Again, we want to thank Michelle for her services on today. Awesome job as always. I have sent out the business plan template as well as some worksheets that Michelle has also referenced to us to be helpful during the business plan process. So if you didn't receive them or you need additional copy, please, you can inbox me on my email at ksmith@saginaw-mi.com. Again, that's ksmith@saginaw-mi.com. If you need any additional documents or you have any questions in reference to the business plan or any resources that we have. Also, you could give me a call at 989-759-1395. Okay. And so with that being said, then this will conclude week 3. Next week will be our final week. 4 weeks really went by fast. We'll be wrapping up the final week on next week on the business plan workshop, and we look forward to you being with us. And if you know anyone that would like to join, although it's the last week, still I think it's still a wealth of information for anyone in the business realm. So thank you all for coming, and we will see you next week.